A lot can happen in 11 years. Why, back in 2011, the Occupy Wall Street movement had just begun, and now the issues with inequality have nearly completely vanished. More than enough time for your references to grow old and spoiled, much like the milk in Season 4, Episode 3 of Seinfeld that Kramer drinks, causing him to subsequently spit up all over Susan. Well, that's the gap we'll be dealing with today. In our second challenge amongst creators in this space, today is part 1 of the battle with Baseball Dreamland that will explore what matters more. Experience, or the lack of joint pain that comes with the gift of youth. I'm Johnny Paprika saying, what's up? Welcome back to the Dugs. Everything we do here is an excuse to tell a lot of baseball stories and a lot of jokes, so if that sounds interesting to you, stay in the know and help us grow by subscribing to the channel and throwing some likes on the videos that you appreciate. Fresh off our victory against Matt Menito in a challenge where we essentially tried to beat each other with the worst team possible, we are looking to go streaking today against Baseball Dreamland, who creates out-of-the-park baseball content focused on the historical game mode. He's on Twitch Saturday mornings and also publishes tutorials and edited playthroughs here on YouTube. He's currently doing videos on running the Astros and has reached 1997 with him, so we still have a few years before the game hacks come out to make their trips to the promised land a little bit easier. The format for this challenge is pretty straightforward. We're both choosing our team from active players. I've been restricted to players of the age of 23 or younger, while our boy Baseball Dreamland... Wait. That's not going to work. I'm not going to say Baseball Dreamland every time I have to reference this guy. We need a nickname, alright? He's Baseball Dreamland and he simulates matchups. BDSM it is. Anyhow, BDSM has to build his team around players that are at least 34 years of age. We're playing a straight up best of 3. Our task today will be to take you through the team we've selected, while you'll be able to check out BDSM's old and decrepit team over on his channel. We'll put the link in the description, or you can click this guy right up here to get over there. I'm not gonna lie, I feel it was a bit of a mixed bag for me here. I'm feeling real sexy about my offense, but my pitching leaves a little bit to be desired. Let's start with the good news and go around the horn. I've got Keibert Ruiz starting behind the plate. He was brought over by the Dodgers as an international free agent signing and made his way through their system a bit, including a stay at one of my favorite places to say, Rancho Cucamonga. Oh man, just try not to smile while saying it. Rancho Cucamonga. He was highly regarded enough to be part of a package that sent Max Scherzer and Trey Turner over to the Dodgers last year. So far, he's sporting a .277 career average along with 5 home runs. Over at first, it's Vlad Guerrero Jr. Thank you, Vlad Sr. for failing to conceive him until 1998, as he's still within the 23 and under range. If not for Shohei Ohtani, who's breaking baseball at the moment, Jr. would have been MVP in 2021, leading the league in home runs, runs scored, on-base percentage, and slugging percentage. Here he is, well under the age cutoff of 23, saluting the Montreal club as their club was being sent to the glue factory. Here's an interesting bit of trivia for you. Jr. was the first major league player to hit 3 home runs in one game, and then follow that performance the next day with a platinum sombrero, striking out 4 times. Next time you're at a party, it's best to keep that one to yourself and keep drinking. Johnny's here to look out for y'all. Moving over to second, we're slotting in Wander Franco. Okay, since we've started the ball rolling on feeling old, here's another good one for you. Wander is the son of Eric Abar's sister. I had that man on my fantasy team at some point. Cold hand of death reaches out for us all. I should actually get some bonus points for this guy as he's barely 21. In fact, last year he passed Mickey Mantle's streak of consecutive games of getting on base for players under the legal drinking age, when he hit the 37 game mark. He's already been tied up to an 11-year contract with an option for 12, and now he's tied up on Team Dugs. Over at short, we have another 40-plus home run guy in Fernando Tatis Jr., who led the National League last year in home runs. Look, Jr.'s great, but I want to talk about one of my absolute favorite things that relates to the senior that I completely forgot about until just now. For a brief period of time, Senior was the weirdest baseball player on Twitter. The account has since unfortunately been proven to be a fake, but for a while there, no one could be 100% sure, and we all wanted to believe. Here's a few of my favorites. Now, the thing you might notice about this one is his banner featuring Swag Airlines drawn in MS Paint, which is a callback to a string of tweets he made prior after a night of too much Merlot. Sadly, the account was deleted, so I can't access the full treasure trove, but it was a glorious time to be alive. Back to Junior. He's not seen an at-bat this year yet, due to a wrist injury that may or may not have occurred during a motorcycle accident during the offseason. season. No one's quite sure if that was the source, but it's worth noting that when asked about the exact timing of his off-season motorcycle accident, his response was, "Which one?" At third, it's Isaac Paredes. Dude knows how to make an entrance. His second career at bat resulted in a bases-loaded 2 RBI single. His first home run was a grand slam. You're not going to get me to admit that I chose this guy because I may have glanced at this article, but I will tell you that after I looked at the article and after placing him on my team, I headed over to Baseball Reference and was greeted by his current numbers. And I have to say, with headline writing abilities like that, it's a wonder the writer of the article isn't a wildly successful YouTuber. We'll head out to the outfield now. In left, we've got Akil Baddoo. He entered the majors with a fire lit under his Baddoo. First pitch he sees in the big leagues, he takes over the fence. Another piece of trivia that's likely to scare the person you're trying to woo off before you can finish your sentence is that he's the only player in Major League Baseball to hit a home run on the first pitch he sees while hitting out of the 9-hole. The more you know. 2 days later, he walks off the Twins while singling off their closer. He also sprinkled a grand slam into his first 3 games. This year, he's already down in AAA after starting the season with a .140 average, but let's see if OOTP knows that. In center field, I'm taking Julio Rodriguez. He was signed out of the Dominican at age 16 by the Seattle Mariners, and even at that age was probably the best player Seattle had in their system. They just didn't want to bring him up due to not wanting to keep him up past his bedtime. When I was 16, I tried flushing a shot glass down the toilet. That's neither here nor there, however. Well, he's now 21 and in the big show as of this year and off to a solid enough start. At the time of this writing, he's hitting .270 with 6 home runs. Not too shabby. Or, when put in contrast with the rest of the Seattle organization, a freaking demigod. Rounding out the outfield, alright. I know I just made fun of somebody for using hyperbole, but if you've watched all of our videos, and you absolutely should watch all of our videos, you'll know I've never made this statement before. For my money, if I was able to choose one offensive player to build a franchise around, it'd be this guy. And he's freaking 23, so he's what I've built Team Doug's around. Ladies and gentlemen, in right field, it's Juan Soto. Why do we like Juan Soto?
He gets on base.
He's been at it since age 19 at the big league level and has posted an on-base percentage north of 400 every year thus far. In 2020, he was 10 points shy of 500. That's not all he does, though. He's only 23, but he's already racked up 107 home runs and 400 walks. I cannot wait to see what this guy does against the old bastards that BDSM dug up. And lastly, bringing up the rear in the DH slot, it's Dylan Carlson. What is going on in Elk Grove, California? Dylan got to play high school ball with Rowdy Tellez, Nick Madrigal, and Derek Hill. If you play high school baseball for anybody else but this school, it might be time to transfer out of state. He played his first full season last year and slashed .281, .364, .518 with 21 home runs and 18 stolen bases. He also made these throws, which makes me so glad that it appears I've chosen this guy as my DH. Solid coaching, Johnny. Coming off the bench, we've got Joe Adell and Andre Jimenez. Being that we're playing with the DH and without fatigue between games, I don't expect we'll see them much, but should they come up, I guess I'll fill you in a little bit more then. Okay, time for a little bit of a letdown. We're going to go over the pitching staff now. Now, these guys aren't bad, but they certainly lack the star power of some of the players I've had the privilege to talk about already. It's kind of a bummer, but wait, you know what? Rancho Cucamonga! Works like a charm every time. Okay, we're playing a max of 3 games, so my 3-man rotation is as follows. Shane Baz tops the rotation. He hasn't started his 2022 as of yet, as he's making rehab starts after elbow surgery. In the 3 starts he made in 2021, he had a 2.03 ERA, averaging a little over 12 strikeouts per 9 innings pitched. And he's got some nasty pitches. I'm sure you'll all be able to appreciate their majesty as if attending the game in person when you watch his sprite take the mound in OOTP 23. Up next, it's Ian Anderson. He's technically 24 now, but at the beginning of the season, he was still 23, so I don't want no grief from any of you old fart supporters. According to Baseball Reference, he was 7th in Rookie of the Year voting in 2020 and 5th in 2021. Well, he must just be that damn good. At the moment, he's 39 starts into his major league career, and he's sporting a pretty solid 3.5 ERA. I'll take it. Rounding out the rotation, it's Ronzi Contreras. He's started a grand total of 2 games thus far, both during the 2022 season, but screw it. We're rolling them bones. Contrerases are usually pretty solid at baseball. What could go wrong? I'm embarrassed to say that I have no idea who anyone in my bullpen is. So here's their names. I'd look up how to pronounce them, but I'm on my first bout of COVID currently, and I'm tired. So this is another one we're going to fill in later if they do anything interesting. A few more details to go through here. We are applying management and letting the computer do its thing. Appropriately, I'll be sporting the youngest of the MLB managers in Oliver Marmol. Whatever out-of-the-park baseball thinks his management style is, that's what you'll be seeing on the field. BDSM is going to take on the oldest manager in the big leagues in Tony La Russa, who has kindly taken a break from driving under the influence long enough to make a cameo in a Doug's video. So that does it for our team. Now go check out Baseball Dreamland's picks over on his channel, and then we will be right back here in 1 week on this channel to bring you the matchup between these two squads. I have a feeling it's going to be a good one. Once again, if you've enjoyed this, consider clicking the subscribe button and liking the video, as that is the only surefire way this channel is going to grow into a thing that sticks around. As always, I've been Johnny Paprika, hoping all your balls are fair and all of your wood is good. Good night, everybody!